Hello everyone, and welcome to our live coverage. It is day three of Japan's women's T20I tournament. It's a double header. Unfortunately, we had a washout in the first game. The fixture between Philippines and Hong Kong was abandoned without a single ball being bowled. But we are happy to announce that the second fixture of the day, which is going to take place between Mongolia and China, will start off as planned. And just as you can see, the teams are lining up for the national anthem ceremony, which means we'll have an uninterrupted game of cricket. Hopefully, the weather is looking really good. It's shining, it's really bright, and we are just moments away from live action. Hope to see some quality cricket. So there you go. National anthem ceremony is done. The players are just regrouping a little bit. The two umpires out in the middle will take a look at the playing surface. And there you go. The lineups are out as well. It's Mongolia who won the toss and they've decided to bat first, starting with the playing 11 of China. We've got Wei Hating at the top, followed by Wang Huing, Li Jieping, Peng Lingyu, Liu Mingting, Zhu Mingui, Zhu Zian, Ma Ruik, Gong Yuting, Kai Yuzi, and Yan Yuying. Looking at the lineup of Mongolia, led by Anujin Ganushk, followed by Jarkal Saikhan, Bat Jargal, Tugs Jargal, Ink Bold, Batsnan, Batsteg, Erden Batter, Amar Jargal, Ganbold, and Bayara Jav Khila. So, plenty of all rounders, some specialist batters and bowlers out in the middle as well. China have won their first game of the tournament. They'll be feeling very, very confident. Mongolia playing their first game of the tournament, and they'll have to be very, very watchful against China, especially their opening bowler who gets the ball to swing in a long way. Exciting battle is on the cards. Mongolia will be looking to get off to a good start with the bat, and we're just few minutes away from live action. Very soon we will see the two teams taking the field, so hang around everyone, don't go too far, we will be right back. So right then, we're just moments away from live action. The players are out in the middle, and the umpires just going through their pre-match routine checks. No slip in position. A backward point is very, very close to the batter. Short third in position, and the baller at the top of a mark, running into ball. Nice little shape, ball going down the leg side. There's a half an appeal. It's Ruiki, who was in devastating form yesterday, absolutely dismantled Philippines' top order, and they were all at sea when she was running into ball, and she starts off well, right on the money, and she'll be looking to get a lot of movement just like that. Chips it in the air. Is that a wicket? Now, is that a wicket? That was certainly airborne, and Ruiki was just Ruki was just not really far away from picking up her first wicket. That could have been wicket number one early doors, and uh, but Jargal and Tux Jargal will have to be very careful. You don't want to hit the ball in the air and give an early opportunity to China. Nicely balled and nicely played. I think that's what the Mongolian batters will have to do. They'll have to be a little bit watchful, and they need to avoid playing high risk shots against Ruik, who's the pick of the ballers for China. And you don't want to go after her, especially considering the fact that she picked up 3 wickets in her last game, and she's going to continue her good form. Oh, clean her up! Ruiki strikes! And that in swinging delivery, which has got her so much success, has done the trick for China and Ruiki. Celebration time for the Red Brigade, and the Mongolian opener falls cheaply. That was a very, very good delivery, a testing delivery around the off stump channel. Swings back in quite a long way and brushes the off stump. Terrific ball from Ruiki, and China get their first wicket early doors. Now then, early blow for Mongolia, and they don't have a run on the board, and they've lost their first wicket. But Nasnan is out in the middle. Last ball of the first over. It's been a brilliant start for China. Down the leg side, slightly gets her line wrong. She'll have to re-ball that. Just a little wayward there, but the movement is there. She's extracting a lot of movement in the air, and that has really kept the Mongolian batters in check. That has created a lot of problems. Even Philippines yesterday struggled a lot. Oh, now that was another good delivery. Could have been wicket number two for Ruiki. But what a start for China. The Mongolia are struggling one for one after one. What a start this from China. Pace from one end, spin from the other end. Kyuan has got the ball in hand, and China have started off well after being asked to bowl first. They've responded brilliantly. Ruik is has been in some form really, and she's been in such a devastating form, and she's picked up wickets up front for her side inside the power play. And it's good to see some cricketing action. First game of the day was washed out. Unfortunate There's been so much rain around in this part of the country in Sano, but right now no signs of rain. It's looking very very bright. The weather is really good, and hopefully the rain gods show some mercy. At the moment, Kyuan just going through her motions, just gradually getting into her work. The bowling has been really outstanding from China. They have one of the best operating bowling lineups in this competition. They got Philippines all out in 49. Yes, they did get themselves in a bit of a hole while chasing. Batting may be a bit of a concern for the Red Army, but their bowling has been simply outstanding. They've hardly given anything away in this match as well. Just one run coming in the form of a wide. Both openers, Mongolian openers, yet to get off the mark. Now that's been nicely timed through the gap. Runs for But Jargal, and she picks up a boundary. And what a way to get off the mark. First boundary of the Mongolian innings. That will release some pressure. Little bit of room on offer, slightly shorter, and she was quick to latch onto that one. Goes deep in her crease and just punches it between cover and extra cover. Even though we've had a lot of overnight rain, the ball quickly raced away to the boundary for a four, and that boundary just spoils Queen's over ever so slightly. But she's got a chance to redeem herself. Oh, that was a very close call. When past the outside edge of Butchargal's bat. End of a very good over for Mongolia. They've got 4 runs in that over, 5 for 1 after two. So Rick to continue. She has not done anything wrong. Economy rate really good, and she gets another one. Would you believe it? She's someone with the golden arm, and whatever she touches turns into gold. Brilliant piece of bowling, and she is turning out to be a big, big threat for Mongolia. Look at that, full and straight, the ball shaping back in, no hesitation for the umpire whatsoever. He raised his finger, and Mongolia has lost the second wicket. Ruiki once again delivering for her side, and Mongolia are struggling at 5 for 2. Ruik is picking up wickets for fun. She's making it look so easy for China. Once again, they're off to a good start, and this could be another wicket. Goes high up in the air, two fielders circling, but eventually the catch has been taken. Ekenbold comes, and Ekenbold goes. Ruik is on a hat trick, and once again, we are starting to see a demolition job from China. That ball was a really good ball, too good for Ekin Bold, and she slices that one high in the air, does not get the distance, and a simple catching opportunity inside the inner ring. Ruik is on a hat trick, and China are well on top early doors. Mongolia are in dire straits. It's 5 for 3 after 2.2. My word, what is happening? Mongolia, they are falling apart pretty rapidly, I'm afraid. And it's not going to be easy for them to break from the shackles, especially when Ruiki is operating in such a fashion. She's looked in fine touch, and she's certainly a lethal force with the ball. There are no two ways about it. She was destructive against Philippines yesterday, and against Mongolia, she is carrying her good form, and she's really tightening the screws on Mongolian batters. Gungsh to face the hat trick ball, and she just manages to survive that. An inside edge, saving her in the end. And a hat trick has been denied by Gunshuk. But that was just that was just inches away from the stumps. You could have easily chopped it back onto her stumps. And now Mongolia have slipped into a survival mode. It's a matter of survival, really. They've got a lot of overs left, 17 overs. And even if they try to make the most of the remaining overs, they can still get at least close to 100, if not 100. But they'll somehow need to find a way to survive against Ruik. The second run she has conceded, but no runs off the bat from Ruik. That's the most remarkable feature of her bowling. She's not given away runs off the bat. Even yesterday, I don't think she's given away a single run off the bat. Maybe just a few runs, but really, you cannot get her away. She's such a tricky customer to deal with. Now, somehow, but Jargal gets some bat on it, and she just puts that one away into the gap and scampers through for a single. Now, that's a bit of a rarity. You don't often see that, especially against Ruik. She doesn't concede runs off the bat, especially off the bat, and she gets the ball to swing in. She gets the ball to move around, and that's what has been creating problems. Now, once again, goes up in the air. Should be an easy catch. Taken, would you believe it? Wickets falling in quick succession. We're seeing a procession of wickets, and Mongolia are not helping themselves with the ball. Can you believe it? Rui gets her fourth wicket. She's on the cusp of a 5 wicket haul early doors. Look at that. A simple catching practice for the fielder, and the fielder had all the time in the world to pouch that safely. Look at Ruik's figures once again, 4 for 4. My word, she has not done anything wrong, and she is certainly a lucky charm for China. And if Mongolia go at this rate, I'm afraid they may get bundled out too soon. Maybe inside the power play, who knows? But I think Ruik is bowling so well, the captain will try to ball all her overs out inside the power play. And last ball of the third over. I'm not sure if the Chinese skipper will persist with spin from the other end. Maybe she should bring her pacer on and wrap up the Mongolian innings. Nicely balled and goes deep in her crease. Ganbold was not looking very comfortable against that ball. They'll somehow take a single, and Mongolian innings in shambles now. 3 overs done. It's 9 for 4. So Kwan to continue. Oh, in the air once again. Ganbold just chipping that one in the air through the offside. But I think by looking at the Mongolian innings, the Chinese skipper will have her plans crystal clear. Be on the attack, be on the offensive, get more fielders around the batter, try to wrap up the innings because the Mongolian batting has looked quite vulnerable. They've lost 4 wickets. They've certainly not looked good against pace. Quinn has bowled quite well, but maybe it's time for the Chinese captain to bring her pacers on and do this job quickly. Once again, not in control of that shot. Chips it straight back to the bowler. Quinn had to run for it, and Ganbold pushing at it with hard hands. And another Mongolian wicket falls. Half the Mongolian side dismissed. Only 9 runs on the board. This is bad news. And this is a sorry looking scorecard for Mongolia. Look at that. It was a nothing shot from Ganbold. She'll be kicking herself when she sees that replay. Quinn eventually strikes. That was an easy breakthrough halfway through the fourth over, and Mongolia have lost 5 wickets. I'm afraid if Mongolia do not offer any resistance now, then they could capitulate rapidly. Half their side has been removed quite effortlessly. Chinese bowlers did not even have to break a sweat. We are in the fourth over of the power play, and it feels like every ball is going to be like a wicket taking ball. My word, China on the brink of a massive win. I shouldn't be saying that just yet because we're into the first innings. But look at the score line: 9 for 5. We're in the fourth over. I'm not sure if Mongolia will be able to get enough runs. And China have looked very vulnerable with their batting. Yesterday we saw that against Philippines. They lost 5 wickets pretty quickly, and then there was a little bit of resistance from the middle order batters, but I don't think they will be chasing anything around 50 in this match. End of another fine over from China. A wicket maiden from Quan. It's 9 for 5 after 4. So Ruiki will be bowling her third over. No surprises. 4 wickets under her belt. She's only given away 5 runs, maybe 2 runs off the bat, but she has been right on the money, right from the onset, just like that, around the corridor of uncertainty, getting the ball to move back in. And that's a stock delivery, getting the ball to move back in, keeping the stumps in play. And when you keep it full and straight, when you try to swing the ball in, uh, you bring two dismissals into play, bolt and leg before wicket. So you're always in the game. Down the leg side, just gets her line wrong, gets it a little too straight. The length was ideal. If that could have been marginally outside off stump, she could have swung the ball back in, and that could have breached the defenses of But Jargal. I can sense another wicket is around the corner for Wick and for China. She's hardly missed her mark, Ruik. She's just keeping it at the stumps, and that's why she's been very successful. What I would want her to do is develop some variations, a slower ball, maybe change of pace, or a delivery which goes the other way. We have not seen that from her. We've seen some exceptional piece of bowling from her. She gets the ball to move back in very late. She's got that in swinger going, just like that. That one just goes past the outside edge, didn't come back in a very long way, but just a little bit of movement, which can keep any batter guessing. But Jargal has scored 5 of 10, and she's been the leading run scorer. She's scored the bulk of the runs for Mongolia. She scored half the runs, 5 of 10. Now that's a wide. She'll have to reball that. It'll be her first 5 wicket haul if she gets 1 wicket here. She's got a little over 1 over in her spell, and she would want to pick up definitely another wicket, maybe 2 more wickets. And we're not even done with the power play, and Mongolia have been blown away to all parts. slightly shorter in length, and she's got to pitch it up a little bit. That's when she's been very, very threatening. If you ball short on this pitch, you allow the batter to read the length quite easily. So those deliveries will not create a lot of problems. If you want to be in the business, if you want to challenge the batters, you got to pitch it up. So far, she's been a little on the shorter side. Just like that, look at that. But Jargal was not at all comfortable while playing that ball. She was staying at her crease, and she just tried to block that one out with her back foot in the air. Not a very convincing shot, but it's a matter of survival, especially when you are facing Ruik, who's at the top of her mark. Cut away this time, outside edge, evades the keeper, evades the fielder at short third. Some bonus runs, some vital runs from Mongolia. They'll take it any which way they can. Slightly expensive over for Ruiki as per her exceptional standards. Mongolia are 13 for 5 after 5. We'll see the first bowling change from China. Meng Ting comes into the attack. So Ruiki is the only seamer who's been operating so far for China. And so the captain is more than happy to persist with this mode of attack, pace from one end, spin from the other end, just try to mix it up and keep the Mongolian batters guessing. They're, they're off to a shocking start, and they've really not looked comfortable right from ball number one. Now the breeze has picked up, as you can see. It's getting very windy out there. And we are just experiencing a little bit of hold up. Just letting that breeze pass, and I think the breeze has passed. Slightly on the shorter side, whipped away on the leg side, square leg gets around, and will stop that. So runs are hard to come by, but now we are seeing a little bit of a move on from Mongolia. Need to get themselves out of this hole and add a few runs. And then Bata gets off the mark with that single. And that's a really good delivery. Nicely tossed up at the stumps. But Jargal very watchful on that occasion. Slightly on the shorter side. Was looking to pull it away on the leg side, but not sure what has happened. She's played it onto her stumps. Would you believe it? Mongolia are finding ways to get out. They're finding different ways of getting out. I'm not sure whether she's been out bowled or hit wicket. They're finding innovative ways of getting out, and another wicket falls inside the power play. Would you believe it? China have hardly put a foot wrong, and they are able to pick up wickets at regular intervals. It's 14 for 6, two more balls to go inside the power play, and Mongolia have got their backs against the wall big time here. So a new batter comes in. Meng Ting gets a first wicket. So Jaragal Sheikh is out there in the middle, and you can see short extra cover fielder is really close. I can sense there could be another wicket around the corner. Just manages to survive, and a very good over for from the Chinese perspective, I must say. End of the power play, end of the sixth. It's 14 for six. So Ruik has been taken out of the attack. The captain wants to save a few overs. She's just got one over up her sleeve. She'll try to bring her back later. At the moment, the spinners are in operation. We've not seen any other pacer apart from Ruik. It's Huang who's bowling the seventh over of the Mongolian innings. Mongolia in dire straits. They are falling apart like a pack of cards. I'm afraid. Not sure if they'll be able to post a competitive target. And that's been clobbered. First signs of aggression from Mongolia. And that is what was missing up until now. Clearly saw how Erden Beta took a swipe at that one. Maybe they need to just attack the spinners a little bit, play with a little bit of positivity against the spinners, because the spinners will not be able to move the ball around. Unlike the pacers, they'll not be able to extract a lot of turn off the pitch, so they can, look to score a little freely, and they shouldn't be so worried, especially when you get deliveries like that. Clearly, they should not show any signs of nerves against spinners. Against pacers, yes, you got to be very, very watchful. They've looked very, very vulnerable against pace. Once again, a little wider, slapped away to point. Jargal Sheikh has faced three deliveries. She's not off the mark yet. And that's a loopy delivery. Jargal Sheikh goes deep in her crease and very watchfully defends it back to the bowler. So just 2 runs coming off it, a tidy first over from Ewing. It's 16 for 6 after 7. Meng Ting to continue. And she starts her second over with a dot ball. Could have been a wide, but Erden Bata gets a little touch on it, albeit off the pad. So they don't get that extra run. Every run matters, doesn't matter how it comes, whether it's off the bat or off the pad, whichever way it comes, they'll grab it with open arms, because clearly they have fallen behind in this race too soon, and it's not a good position to be in early on, especially in a T20 game. 16 for 6. You're in the eighth over. Defended on the front foot. Very tentative. And then Bata just happy to block it out. So five consecutive dot balls in this over, and we've seen another maiden over in this innings. 8 overs done. It's 16 for 6. So Jargal Shai Khan will be facing Kwan. She's back for a second spell. So no pacer has operated apart from Ruik. Straight to the fielder at backward point. Goes past the outside edge. Jargal Sai Khan was looking to slap it through the offside, tossed up delivery, deceived her in the end. Quinn has been bowling really well. Now, can she get the ball to spin back in sharply? The flight has been good. There's an appeal, and she was certainly struck on the pads, but the umpire seemed very unmoved on that occasion. Three consecutive dot balls. Pushes it away to point. Another dot ball. So 10 balls have gone, and we haven't seen a run from Mongolia. This is quality bowling from China. Another dot ball inside edge on that occasion. Jargal Saikhan has faced 10 deliveries and she's not been able to get off the mark. She's finding it difficult. It's not an easy surface to bat on. It's a very difficult situation to be in. You're almost halfway through the uh, innings and you've lost more than half the side. And the bowling has been so exceptional. And that's the end of the over. Two consecutive maidens in a T20 format. It's hard to believe. Real domination from China in this match. 9 overs done. It's 16 for 6. You can see the Chinese skipper is setting up an attacking field. Lots of fielders inside the inner ring. And then Bata just clips that one away for a single. Every run is like gold dust for Mongolia, really. They have got to ensure that they try to bat the remaining overs. The longer they stay, the better it will be for them. They'll be able to muster a few runs under their belt. Full and straight on that occasion from Yuji, who's bowling her first over of the match. And there have been plenty of wickets. Wickets galore in this innings, and she would want to. She'll definitely try to have a slice of the cake. So we've finally seen a run after 15 odd deliveries, and after that single, we have seen three consecutive dot balls. So Jargal Saikan and Erden Bata are doing well to stick around, but they've got to accelerate. They've got to rotate the strike and get some runs. The run flow has been a bit of a problem for the Blue Brigade. Yes, the pair has done well to survive and stick around a little bit, but they have to get going with the bat. Just one run of this over, and we have reached the halfway stage of the innings. The drinks will be called now. After 10, Mongolia struggling big time, 17 for 6. So drinks interval is over, and China at this stage well on top. Current run rate will take Mongolia to 34. 3 and over will take them to 47. 5 and over 67. 7 and over 87. I think anything above 80 is going to be a very competitive score on this pitch, given how fragile China's batting was yesterday. But I really doubt Mongolia will be able to get to that mark, and I don't think China will have a very big target ahead of them. But right now, they're seeing a little bit of resistance from Erden Beta and Jargal Shaikhan. That was almost a wicket there, an inside edge onto her pads. Not taking any risks. Erden Beta, 3 of 18. Jargal Sai Khan has faced 16 deliveries and she has gone without scoring. Would you believe it? They're just looking to dig in hard. Now that's a wild hoik across the line and a brilliant stop from the fielder at cow corner. That was hit with some power, some signs of aggression being shown by Erden Bata. She's seen enough. She's seen enough. She's been out there for a very long time, and she's just thinking to herself, it's time to switch through the gears, maybe a little bit. And that's a top notch delivery, which brings us to the end of the over. Another fine over from Hewing. 11 overs done. Mongolia are 19 for 6. So UZ to continue. She's only given away a run, and she's been on target as well. Spinners are proving to be quite effective. They're keeping the run flow down, they're being very tidy, but they're just not able to break through this partnership. And I think that is what China needs. They don't want to be chasing anything above 50. We saw how they stumbled across, how they faltered while chasing 50. They were able to get to 51, their target, but they lost 5 wickets to get there. A drag down from UZ on that occasion, whipped away on the leg side, but straight to the fielder. So 20 on the board. It's been a hard fought stay for the Mongolian batters. A laboured stay for Erden Beta and her partner at the other end, Jargal Shai Khan. Nicely defended this time, keeps that one out. Yuzi and the rest of the Chinese spinners are going through their motions. They're keeping the run flow down. They're bowling their overs very quickly. But unlike Ruik, who was destructive at the start, they don't quite have that penetration. But so far, they're doing a fine job. Overs stick by. 12 overs done. It's 20 for 6. Hui Ying, correction, will continue. She's searching for her first breakthrough of the match. She's been bowling really well, but Jargal Shaikhan and Ardan Beta being very, very resilient. They're standing tall, but not tall enough. Look at the strike rates, really low at the moment. At the moment, they're just trying to survive and get as many runs as they can. And these runs will not come at a very rapid rate, I can tell you. We can see some flashes of aggression from them, but they will probably maintain a cautious approach. Will probably be maintaining a cautious approach because they've lost 6 wickets. They don't have a lot of batting left. They don't want to get bundled out too soon, so they will be very, very watchful. Chips it in the air and just wide of the field. A little bit of risk involved, but they'll steal a single. And Chinese bowlers are making Mongolian batters work hard for their runs. They're asking them to take the risk. Nicely bowled, just outside off stump. Arden Bata solid in defense. And China will be mindful of the score. Score is gradually creeping up, slowly but surely. And they'll have one eye on that score, on that target. The target of 51 against Philippines yesterday was a tricky run chase. They were able to eventually get through, but they faced quite a lot of difficulties along the way. End of the over, just 2 runs coming off it. Mongolia are 22 for 6 after 30. Right then, China will have to pick up wickets. There's a little bit of partnership building. 7 overs to go. 4 wickets in hand. Someone needs to put their hand up and try to pick up a wicket here. They're just 1 wicket away from exposing the Mongolian tail, and I'm sure the tailenders haven't done enough batting for Mongolia in recent times. That's not a very good delivery from Yuting. Too short on that occasion, too wide as well. Not sure if it bounced 2 times before reaching the batter. The umpire says it's fine, a legal delivery, but you gotta pitch it up. You can't be bowling that short, especially when you're hunting for wickets. That was just a freebie ball. It was not a threatening ball by any means. Now, floated delivery gives a lot of air, and this could be close. Oh, a direct hit was needed to dismiss Erden Bata. She was wandering outside her crease, and a little bit of confusion between Jargal Shaikan and Erden Bata. The keeper missed the throw, missed the stumps, and Erden Bata gets away with it. And now she's chipped that in the air. This could be out. Taken by the fielder at short mid wicket. This time, fortune not favoring Arden Betta. She got away with a close run out call earlier, but in the very next delivery, she tried to do something different. She tried to go over the top, but miscues it completely and straight into the bread basket of the fielder at short mid wicket. China are celebrating. They are feeling very confident, and the partnership has finally been broken. Yuting was able to break this partnership, and Mongolia have lost 7 wickets. So Yuting has finally delivered. She's got a wicket under her belt. Can she find another wicket? It was very close. It was a very close call. Could have got her another. Could have got another wicket. Amar Jargal is out in the middle. Can she offer a little bit of resistance with the bat? 6 overs to go after this one. Mongolia will be looking to bat all the remaining 6 overs if they can to get themselves at least close to 50. End of the over, it's 23 for 7 after 14. So Huing to ball her last over, and she's been wicketless. She's kept the run flow down. She's been very economical, and she's bowled an ideal line, an ideal length. Areas have been really good. She's not got the ball to turn a lot. You don't expect that in the shortest format. You don't have to turn every single delivery, but she's been very, very tight. She's been very tidy. Length has been ideal. Line has been very good. from a spinner's perspective. She's done everything right, but she's not picked up a wicket. Wicket Wickets have eluded her, and that was almost a chance there. She hit that ball in the air, but just beyond the reach of the fielder at short extra cover. Defended on the front foot. Amar Jargal, not off the mark. She's faced three deliveries. It's been a struggle really for Mongolia. And once we look at the individual scores of the batters, you'll know why. Now, this could be another wicket, could have been another wicket. The catch goes down, and there could have been a run out as well. A little bit of panic, a little bit of confusion between the two batters there. That catch should have been taken. China have been so good uh, on the field, they've been brilliant with their fielding efforts, and you've seen a rare fielding lapse from them. That was down the leg side, but the umpire clearly indicating that was off the pad. Wide not given. End of the over. It's 25 for 7. Could have been 25 for 8, mind you, had that catch been taken. It's 25 for 7, 5 overs to go. So Yuting to continue. A loopy delivery on the pads. Amar Jargal gets some bat on it. Tucks that one away on the leg side. Plays it straight back to the bowler. Mongolia have not got any momentum whatsoever in this innings, and Ruik was in such a destructive form early doors, completely rattled Mongolia and caught them off guard. I think the Chinese captain should be looking to bring her on. They've only got 3 wickets left. Ruik can pick up a wicket or maybe two, or she could just wrap up the Mongolian innings. She's got 1 over. Now that's a very, very poor delivery. It has bounced more than once before reaching the popping crease. Too short, too wide as well. Amar Jargal didn't really have to offer a shot there. It was a nothing ball from Yuting, and they've got a free hit. They've got the license to go big. Will they do something? They couldn't make the most out of the free hit delivery, and that's been the problem. They've lacked a little bit of confidence, Mongolia. The confidence has been missing from their batting, and that's why they've struggled, and they're getting every run with a lot of difficulty. Play and a miss. Gets beaten on the drive. A lovely loopy delivery from Yuting. Almost deceives Jargal Sai Khan. 16 overs done. 4 overs to go. Mongolia are 27 for 7. So Ruik is back into the attack, and she's got one over up her sleeve. And we were just having a discussion about her an over ago, and the captain has done the right thing by bringing her on, and she's going to be rattling the timber for fun. Can she do it this time around? She gets the ball to shape back in, and Mongolian batters will know that she can get the ball to swing back in a long way, and they'll certainly be very, very watchful. They'll watch out for those in dipping, sharp deliveries. They'll have to be very solid with their defense, especially Amar Jargal, who's on strike. Nicely balled and nicely dealt with by Amar Jargal, a Yorkerland delivery. Not easy to negotiate, especially against Ruik, who's been breathing fire with the ball. That's close. There's an appeal, a muted appeal, an optimistic shout from Ruik. Just got it a little straighter around middle stump line. When you extracting so much movement in the air, your line should always be well outside off stump. Get the ball to shape back in from miles outside off stump, and then knock the off stump or the middle stump off. Just like that. The line should be a lot wider. If you get it a little straight, the ball will angle down the leg side if you're bowling to a right hander, and that's not going to be a desirable result. So, four consecutive dot balls. I haven't seen a wicket from Ruik in this over, which is highly uncharacteristic because in the first two overs she was full of wickets. Keeps that one out. Positive looking shot from Amar Jargal. Possibility of a five for Ruik diminishing rapidly. She's got only one ball left. She's got to produce a magical delivery. She really has to. Goes past the outside edge and she finishes off with a maiden over. And after four overs, she has picked up four wickets, conceded 9 runs. Another fine show with the ball. Possibly could be a match winning performance from her as well. We'll find out towards the end of the game. 17 overs done, it's 27 for 7. So we're now down to the spinners. Meng Ting bowling her third over. Can China bowl Mongolia out? Mongolia looking to bat the remaining 2.5 overs. They've done really well to hang around, and that's the most crucial thing to do when the bowling is on song, when you're struggling to score runs. Try to survive, try to just withstand the heat. And so far, after that early collapse, Mongolia have just done well to sort of steady the ship. They've prevented the ship from sinking. But what has happened there? Just when we were praising Mongolia, Meng Ting has picked up a wicket, a blessing in disguise, really, and a very long stay for the Mongolian batter comes to a close. Look at that. That's the dismissal. That's how she's been dismissed. Exposed all three stumps, plays all around it, and Meng Ting picks up her second wicket. That's gone through her defenses, 8 down with 28 runs on the board. So Bat sets Sig out in the middle. So now we are right into the Mongolian tail, and they've just got 2 overs to negotiate, and they're inching closer to the 30-run mark. Can they get themselves to 40? Not sure if that'll be a good score, but we've seen China struggle a little bit with the bat against Philippines. They don't like this notion to bat first. They're not a big fan of batting, in my opinion, but their bowlers have impressed me the most, especially Ruik. They've only got one seamer in the ranks, and she has just been in devastating form. And if the captain tosses the ball to her, she always gets the better of the batters. And then they've got a plethora of spinners in their ranks as well. Down the leg side, will that be a wide? Bonus runs, useful run for Mongolia. They'll take these runs any which way they come, and they'll certainly welcome the fact that they're getting runs in the form of extras. Mingting will now switch her mode of attack. She'll ball from over the wicket. Clear a miss on that occasion. She misses out. Good comeback ball after bowling that wide. Now China should be looking to wrap this innings up as quickly as possible and prevent Mongolia from stretching their score any further. Safely negotiated by Amar Jargal. End of the over, 2 overs to go. It's 30 for 8. So Kuan to ball the penultimate over of the Mongolian innings. She's picked up a wicket as well, and she would want to have another wicket under her belt or possibly wrap up the Mongolian innings. So Chinese bowlers have played their part, they've done their part to get Mongolia in this position, and they've got 10 more deliveries. They've got to ensure that Mongolia does not stretch their score past the 35 run mark, and I think China will be licking their lips. That's for sure. They will certainly be itching to go out there for the run chase. Because 35 by no means is a big score, and almost a chance there at short mid wicket. Just gets enough elevation to hit it over the fielder there. And China feel very very confident, even though they have not impressed me with their batting yesterday. Um, they did not look really confident with their batting, but surely they'll be very pleased with the way they've bowled so far, and they'll be very confident with the situation they find themselves in. Just last ball of this penultimate over. Mongolia just trying to stretch their score bit by bit. And I think Mongolian batters will now look to be on the offensive. Just 1 over to go. 19 overs done. It's 32 for 8. So last over of the innings, it's going to be Mengting, correction. She's picked up 2 wickets. Can China bowl Mongolia out? Mongolia, for Mongolia, if they manage to survive, if they do not lose all 10 wickets, it'll be a bit of a moral victory for them. They managed to survive the Chinese onslaught, but it'll be interesting to see how they go about their business with the ball in hand. Do they have that firepower? Do they have that resilience with the ball to challenge the Chinese batters in the second half? Play and a miss on that occasion. Oh no! Given this time, given by the umpire, finger went up. So there was a faint feather from Amar Jargal. She was looking to go big across the line. Look at that. A wild swing. There's an appeal. No appeal from the keeper though, but the bowler was interested and the umpire's finger almost went up immediately. So Mengting has a third wicket and Mongolia lose their ninth wicket in the last over of the innings. Can China bundle out Mongolia inside this over? Or will Mongolia find a way to muster a few runs and be 9 down by the end of the innings? We'll have to wait and see. Just 4 balls to go. Meng Ting, just like Ruik, has been amongst the wickets, and she has also been the pick of the bowlers as well for the Red Army. Pitching just outside leg stump line by a Rajavka, just defending that one on the leg side. Last line of defense for Mongolia. She's got 3 balls to go. What does she do? Does she block it out or does she show some intent with the bat? Because they need runs. They need runs. Another dot ball. Dot balls will not help them. Yes, they're just 1 wicket away from getting bundled out. We still need to be in that mindset to score some runs. 2 balls to go in this innings. Plays that one really well. The ball just spinning across, pitching outside leg. Very watchful from the batter there. 1 ball to go. A free swing for Mongolia. But you can see field is coming in. Short extra cover, really close. Short third, very close as well. Plays it straight to the fielder, and the Mongolian innings has come to a close. A bit of a disappointment, really, for the Blue Army, but they've done well not to lose all their 10 wickets. They've done well to survive, but a poor show with the bat. None of the batters making it to double figures. Openers perishing very quickly. Mariuk was in devastating form with the ball, but you can see but Jargal, the pick of the batters, scoring 7 of 15, and then some decent contributions from the lower middle order batters, but not at a very good rate. 5, 4, and 3, just like 4 numbers, really. Not a lot of contribution from the Mongolian batters, and in the end, they finish with 32. A fairy tale outing for the Chinese bowlers. Ruik was unstoppable early on. Pick of the bowlers for China, 4 for 9. Impressive figures. Impressive figures for Ming Ting, who finished with figures of 3 for 4. 1 wicket for Quan and Yuting. I think spinners bowled brilliantly during the middle overs. They're just not able to get the final wicket, but I think they've played their part and they've done really well to restrict Mongolia to 32. The target for China in this run chase is going to be a very small target. 33 runs is what they need in their allotted 20 overs. We'll be back for the run chase very shortly. Stay tuned.
芋フライ。
とちあいかっていう品種が栃木県では一番新しい品種。
甘い。
佐野市名産の完熟いちごをたくさんご用意しております。ぜひお越しください。
佐野の美味しいいちごを使ったパフェをぜひ皆さん作りませんか？待ってます。
いただきます。エナ。昭和レトロ感のあるこの昔ながらのゲストハウスになってます。いろんな地元の人と交流できる場所です。
50% off. 美味しい。
ビーガンとグルテンフリーにこだわってなるべくオーガニックで作っております。皆様ご来場お待ちしてます。
蒸して柔らかく甘くしたお芋をここで皮を剥きます。
涙が出る。
上にジャンプ、そう上にジャンプ、そうそのまま。
いらっしゃいます。佐野餃子。
音が
削れる音が気持ちがいいです。
そうです。できました。
いただきます。美味しい。
陰影をつけて描くと絵が生き生きしてくると思います。
出ました。
楽しんでいただけました。
楽しかった。ど真ん中頼む。
こしあんと粒あん。
佐野市がおすすめしている B 級グルメ、芋フライと黒唐揚げ、ぜひ食べに来てね。
柔らかい。美味しい。
いただきます。いただきます。
So, welcome back, everybody. The run chase is about to commence any moment. China do not have a big target ahead of them, but we all saw how they sort of faltered a little bit in their run chase against Philippines. They were able to get over the line, but they encountered quite a lot of hiccups. Will they encounter some hiccups in this fixture against Mongolia? Can the Mongolian bowlers make a game out of it? Can they challenge the Red Army? Do they have some fight left? We'll find out in this second half of the play. 33 is the target, and China will have to score at 1.65 runs per over. Never an issue, really. If you're playing in the shortest format at any level, it's just bread and butter stuff, really. But pressure is on Mongolia. They let themselves down with the bat, but they've got to realize that China not very fluent with the bat. They were in dominating. They were in dominating form with the ball, but the same can't be said with the bat. Now there's some confusion. The umpires getting involved. They're having a word with the two Chinese openers. Not sure what the talk is about. There seems to be an extended discussion. And now the Chinese openers are signaling something to the dressing room. There's something which is bothering the match officials, and they have paused play for the moment. Whatever that may be, looks like it's all sorted now. We're all set to resume. China do not have a big target. 33 is the ask, a small target for them. But they'll have to bat well. Mongolia, can they fight with the ball? Can they show a bit of a resistance? Plianimis, tentative from the batter there. A tentative shot from Zhu Ying. And that's what Mongolia needs to know, that their batting is not as dominant as their bowling. And this will be a wide. Easy runs for China, and they are underway in this run chase. Will that be another wide? Back-to-back wides for Erden Batar. So that will help. That will minimize the deficit and bring the required number of runs down to 31. Already, it's starting to look quite easy for China. That's been swung away on the leg side. First run off the bat for China. And Zhu Ying is away. She's picked up a single. So Erden Batar switches to round the wicket to the left-hander. Very watchfully defended from Min Gui. Defends it straight to short extra cover. Nice defensive punch on the front foot. Oh, that's a ripper. And I think Arden Batter has got the first breakthrough for Mongolia, and an early wicket can really give the fielding side some confidence. And the opener goes for a duck. Early signs of trouble for China. Look at that. Absolute beauty. Goes through the defenses and she's bowled through the gate. There's nothing much she could have done about it. Erden Batter is celebrating and so is Mongolia. They picked up a wicket early doors, but they've got to realize that they don't have enough runs under their belt. They'll have to keep attacking, keep taking wickets almost every over if they can, because that is how they can win the game from here. If they let this game go deep, they'll end up on the losing side. And I think we've got a delivery to go. I was probably thinking that's the end of the over, but that early wicket will sort of shake China a little bit. And as I was saying earlier, their batting has not been up to the mark. We've seen early glimpses of it yesterday, and now they've lost a wicket. They've not got themselves off to an ideal start. Driven down the ground, but not a very clean stroke. It's a dot ball. End of the over. It's 3 for 1 after 1. So Bayaraj Khala is going to ball the second over of the run chase. Mongolia are off to a very promising start. They picked up a wicket, and that will surely keep them interested. That's a really wide delivery. Zoing offered no shot whatsoever. She didn't really need to. 29 runs needed for victory, and you can't be balling deliveries like that. These are real buffet deliveries. You're just making it too easy for the opposition. Oh no, the keeper has failed to gather the ball cleanly. Now all eyes will be on the umpire. Will it be a legal delivery? Yes, it's a legal delivery. She was really tight on the wide guideline. They've stolen a single in the form of a bye. 5 runs on the board. And China needs to realize they don't have to do anything different, and they don't have to be aggressive in the shortest format, run scoring or keeping up with the asking rate. It's always a tricky affair, but they don't really need to do anything out of the ordinary, especially if they get deliveries like these, second wide of the over. So the bowler is struggling a little bit to get her line right, and with every run, China feel better and better. Nicely driven this time. It was into the slot. A bit of a misfield by the fielder at short extra cover allows Meng Ting to open her account with a single. And I think that is what China will have to realize. They can just do it in singles and doubles. They don't need to. They don't need to get out of the way and do something different. No need at all. And avoid risk taking shots, and they will comfortably be home. They just need 26 runs for victory, 18 overs to go, required run rate well under 2. Uh, and the current run rate is really good, 4.67. That's a positive. So clearly, there are no signs of concerns, and it's their game to win. We've got 3 runs so far in this over, a couple of wides. And now we've seen 2 good deliveries from Bayaraja Khala, pitching it full at the stumps. Last ball of the over. And goes past the outside edge of Ewing's bat. Beats her, all ends up. End of the over. It's 7 for 1 after 2. Erdem Betar is coming on to ball. Her second over starts off very well. And I think she was the pick of the batters for Mongolia. Single digit scores for all the Mongolian batters. And now the umpire is getting involved. He's not quite happy with the bowler's landing area. And he's not happy with the fact that she's getting dangerously close to the protected area. You gotta be careful. You don't want to do things like that. You don't want to show your inexperience at such a level. Slightly inward movement this time and a quick single. This could be close. Oh, had she gathered the ball cleanly, she would have been able to remove the bails, and the batter was certainly struggling to get to that end. She was certainly struggling big time. A direct hit was needed, but at the moment, Menting and realizing the fact that run scoring is not going to be easy, so they'll have to be quite active while running between the wickets. You've got to realize that there are singles in the offing. Misses out on that occasion. A low full toss. Just dipping very, very late. Zhuing just misses out on the drive. Nicely balled. Excellent ball from Erdem Patar. But they'll need to find a wicket somehow. They've done well to pick up the first wicket early doors. But now we're seeing a little bit of resistance from Mengting and Zhuing. Driven straight back to the bowler. And we've seen 5 dot balls in that over. Tidy stuff from the Mongolian bowler. It's 8 for 1 after 3. The spin to continue for Mongolia. Round the wicket this time. Nicely driven, but straight to the fielder. So 25 runs away from victory. And with a second win for China in this competition, 2 big wins, and it will do their net run rate a whole world of good. Wide down the leg side by Raja Khala. By Raja of Khala will have to reball that. And Mongolia, on the other hand, should not be very disappointed with the result. They're still bowling well. They're keeping the Chinese batters on their toes. Maybe batting could have been improved. Batting could have been a lot better. I think that's what will be the discussion from them. Now that's been played down the ground just wide of the bowler, and China are into double figures now. 10 runs is what they have posted after 3.5 overs. They've only lost 1 wicket, 23 runs adrift. They're certainly getting home and they're on their way to a big win. Nicely driven, nicely timed as well, straight to the fielder at extra cover, but she couldn't prevent the single there. Just 22 runs needed for victory, and with every run, China is getting themselves closer and closer to the finishing line. Defended back to the bowler. And I think Mongolian bowlers will have to try something different. They'll have to be a little bit inventive with their strategies a little bit. Chips it in the air. This could be out. Taken. So Bayaraj Khala strikes. She picks up her first wicket of the match, and they needed a wicket to somewhat keep themselves alive in this run chase. And the over ends well for Mongolia. Look at that, a soft dismissal really. Chips it in the air, went at it with hard hands, I think, and that's what resulted in that shot, and a simple cotton ball chance for the bowler. End of the fourth over, and China are 11 for 2. So 2 wickets for Mongolia and a little bit of hope for them, I should say. Now, is there light at the end of the tunnel? It's hard to tell. It's early days for China in this run chase, and they've only got 22 more runs under their belt, 22 more runs to get. Now, the keeper has conceded a bye there. That should have been stopped. That should have just been a dot ball. And you're just allowing the opposition to get off the hook if you commit blunders like those on the field. Oh, now there's an appeal, a big appeal. Was there some bat involved? I probably thought there was a leading edge, but a good delivery from Erden Butter. She's into a third over, and she's looked in threatening form. She's certainly caused a few problems for the Chinese batters. But the good thing for China is they don't have a lot of runs to get, just 21 runs to go, and plenty of time to get there. 15 overs to go after this one. Really, they hardly have to break a sweat. The game has been given to them in a plate by Mongolia, who were very poor with their bat in the first half. They should have had a few runs. Maybe 60, maybe 70 would have really been a competitive score against China. That would have really challenged China's vulnerable batting lineup. Now that's a low full toss. That's a high full toss, I should say. Pretty high, around the shoulder height, and no ball has rightfully been signaled. Arden Butter was bowling brilliantly. She was keeping it tight, and now she's bowled a waist high no ball, above waist high no ball, and she's presented hitting with an opportunity to free her arms. What does she do? She doesn't really get hold of it, but a little bit of yes and no in the middle, and they scamper through for a single. So runs required down to 19 after the completion of 5 overs. China are 14 for 2. So Bayaraj Khala has got her tail up. She picked up a wicket and she picked up a wicket in the last over, and that will get her confidence up and running. Floats it up at the stumps, nicely driven by Hating, and she will eventually get off the mark after facing 7 deliveries. It's turning out to be a low scoring affair. We've only seen a solitary boundary in this match that was in the first half when Mongolia was batting. But clearly you can see it's a tough wicket to bat on, and conditions are not quite easy. You have to take your time and settle in. The bowling has been very good from Mongolia. They know that they don't have enough runs on the board. They're not defending a big target, but they're bowling well. They're bowling consistently in the right areas. Now an outside edge just does not carry to the fielder at short third. A slip fielder should have been placed there. End of the over. China are chipping away quite nicely at the minute. It's 16 for 2 after 6. So Amar Jargal introduced into the attack for the first time, first bowling change after the power play. It's been a struggle for the batters on either sides, but at the moment China are winning this mini battle and they are well on course, they're well on track. They're almost halfway through the run chase. They've knocked off 50% of the runs, nearly 50% of the runs. And they've got 8 wickets in hand, more than 10 overs to spare. At the moment, look at the equation looking very simple, but they need to avoid shots like that. Zhuing has chipped this one straight down the throat of the fielder at short extra cover. Wickets is what Mongolia need at this stage of the run chase. Look at that, a half tracker, nothing ball really. It deserved to be put away, and Zhuing just miscues that one and slices it straight down the throat of the fielder at short extra cover. China lose their 3rd wicket, and as I was mentioning earlier, batting has been a sign of concern really for the Red Brigade, but they're still very much in this game. Required run rate well under 1.5. Current run rate not an issue. They're going at 2.5. So clearly the momentum is with them, but Mongolia are pegging them back consistently. The 17 needed of 82, and Jai Ping walks out to the middle. No pressure really for China just yet. They can afford to relax. They can afford to breathe easily. 17 runs away from victory. Even a wicket now should not dent them that much. Just one small knock from either of the two batters, and China are through in this run chase. They'll need someone to just stand up and apply the finishing touches. That's been clobbered high in the air. She's dragged that one away over the fielder at mid wicket, and it'll be runs for Japing. First signs of aggression from her, and she decided to just have a go really and go after the Mongolian bowlers. You've got to be careful while attempting a shot like that because bowling has been top notch from Mongolia. They've picked up 3 wickets. You lose another one now, and all of a sudden you start crumbling under pressure. You want to avoid that by all means. You're in such a good position. You don't want to concede the game from a situation like this, and that will be a wide. That will help. That will certainly help. Runs required down to 14 now. Yes, just 14 runs needed, a little over dozen runs. So they're well within reach and not far away from the finishing line. Slightly aerial on that occasion, Japing just pushing at it with hard hands. The ball does not quite carry to the fielder at short extra cover. End of the over. It's 19 for 3 after 7. The 7 overs done and a real drag down from the bowler. Poor delivery, asking to be put away, and we could possibly see the first boundary of the Chinese innings. Now, the fielder was really close to the ball. She did well to put the dive in, but my only question is, did she make contact with the ropes while stopping the ball? I think that's the thing which the umpires will clarify because she got herself really close to the ropes. It's a boundary, a fair call. Even I thought so. She was very close to the boundary ropes while stopping that ball. She made contact with the ropes while being in contact with the ball at the same time. So now China are just inching closer. Just 10 more needed. And now they're well and truly in the driver's seat. Oh no, I think she'll have to stop that. Oh, looks like the batter was not quite ready. She was still looking down when the bowler was running in. In fact, it's a no ball. Umpire did signal wide initially, then he reversed that call, revoked it, and signaled no ball. Now, there's plenty happening. The batter was not ready to face the ball, and then as soon as she looked up, she saw the ball going down leg, and then the umpire has signaled no ball after signaling wide, maybe because of fielding infringement. So they're getting runs on offer, China. They're getting some easy runs. That's been that's been clobbered away towards deep mid wicket. Just a couple of boundaries away from victory, China. Mongolia trying really hard to delay the inevitable, but I'm afraid they don't have a lot of runs on the board. They don't have a lot of runs under their belt. And they're quickly running out of time as well. Hating and japing. Can they get China over the line without further hiccups? Well, that's a pretty poor delivery down the leg side. That ball dipped very late. I was thinking it will probably be a low full toss. It dips very late and obviously poor line as well. So just 6 runs away. All they need is a maximum now. I don't think Hating will be looking for that big shot. Another waist high no ball, balled by a Mongolian bowler. And this is getting too easy for China. This is bread and butter stuff, a free hit delivery. Can Hating break from the shackles and hit a maximum? We've not seen a maximum in this match. We've only seen a couple of boundaries, one boundary in the Mongolian innings and another boundary in the Chinese innings. So clearly, it's been hard to score runs, and bowlers have had the upper hand over the batters so far in this match, something you don't see often in T20 cricket. But because the outfield is slow, there's so much moisture on the pitch. We've had overnight rain, and even today the weather in the morning was inclement. And now they're inching closer. Now runs required down to 3, and we've seen a plethora of extras, wides, and no balls. And the bowler has been all over the place in this over, and she has made the job look very easy for China. Low full toss this time, defended back to the bowler. There's 2 balls to go in this over. Will Jaiping look to finish this run chase off in this over? If they do that, that'll mean that they would finish off the run chase in 8 overs with 12 overs to spare. A massive boost in their net run rate, a slower delivery that's been hiked away towards square leg. 2 runs needed, 1 ball to go in this over. Can it be the moment for China? Just 2 runs needed, and Ganbol has been quite expensive in this over. She's given away 12 runs and make it 13 runs. Scores are level. That wide has equaled China's score with Mongolia's first innings score. Now just 1 ball to go, 1 run needed, and what does she do? It's straight to the fielder at short extra cover. So China will have to wait for the winning moment. We'll go into the next over, and that could be the last over as well of the match. But a dominating show with the bat and with the ball. Yes, they lost 3 wickets while getting to the target, but the scoring rate has been quite good, around 4 runs per over. Not at all bad by any means, considering the fact that we've only seen 2 boundaries in this entire match. Amar Jargal to bowl what looks like the last over of the match. He's heaved that one away wide of the fielder at short mid wicket, and they'll take a single. And Jaiping has got China over the line, and they have finished off the run chase before the halfway stage of the match, and they've got to their target with 7 wickets to spare. A comfortable run chase for China eventually in the end. You can clearly see single digit scores, but it does not matter because China was chasing a very small target of 33, hitting the pick of the batters, 7 of 13, the highest run scorer for China. Jaiping also playing a key role with the bat, 4 of 7, and the 2 stayed unbeaten till the end to get China over the line. They lost 3 wickets at the start, but they were quite good with the bat towards the end, and they were quick enough to get themselves back on track. Bowling from Mongolia, pretty good, apart from Ganbol. All the 3 bowlers used, they were very impressive. Look at the economy rates, outstanding, 1 wicket each for Ojaya Ungwonswood and Oyunswood. But Ganbol was really, really expensive. And that's the match summary for you. Mongolia were restricted to 32. Ruik and Mengting bowled brilliantly for China in the first half, and they did really well to restrict Mongolia to 32. China, on the other hand, just fumbled a little bit at the start of the run chase, losing 3 wickets. But Hating and Japing stayed unbeaten till the end to get China over the line. I think Mongolian bowling was good in the second half, but they simply did not have enough runs on the board. And China registered their second win of the tournament, and they have convincingly beaten Mongolia by 7 wickets. This brings us to the end of the first game. Now we have another thrilling day of cricket lined up tomorrow. Hopefully, the weather gods show us some mercy, and hopefully we get to see an action-packed day of cricket. So that's all we have for you. Hope you enjoyed watching this contest. We shall see you soon tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining in.
佐野市がおすすめしている B 級グルメ、芋フライと黒唐揚げ、ぜひ食べに来てね。
柔らかい、おいしい。
佐野市名産の完熟いちごをたくさんご用意しております。ぜひお越しください。
美味しいいちごを使ったパフェをぜひ皆さん作りませんか？待ってます。
昭和レトロ感のあるこの昔ながらのゲストハウスになってます。いろんな地元の人と交流できる場所です。
50% オフ。
ビーガンとグルテンフリーにこだわってなるべくオーガニックで作っております。皆様のご来場お待ちしてます。
蒸して柔らかく甘くしたお芋をここで皮を剥きます。
涙が出る。
上にジャンプ、そうそう、上にジャンプ、そうそうそう、そのまま。
佐野餃子。おいしい。キャッチャー。
音ができました。
いただきます。おいしい。
陰影をつけて描くと絵が生き生きしてくると思います。
できました。
楽しんでいただけました。
楽しかった。いただきます。